Awesome. Welcome to the call. This is Geek Out Fridays, and I'm your host, Damon Nelson, along with my partner, Wayne Atkinson. And we are going to be sharing some really unique content today. And it's basically a software comparison. We're going to go head to head with each of these software. And I want to, before I get started with the actual demonstration of the different software, I kind of want to break it down so you know what we're thinking and why we use these tools, because that's really the important part. Is you can buy all the tools in the world, but if you don't know when, why, or how to use them, they're kind of useless. So I'm going to go ahead and open my mind map and welcome everybody. Looks like we got some of the regulars on here. We got a few new people on there. So shout out to Andrew, Don, John, Larry, Mike, Sam, Lori, Michael, Steve Bailey, and we got Garen probably coming online shortly. So we got a lot of folks on here. Aloha from Lori. I guess she's in Hawaii. Okay. So I'm going to share my mind map, and we're going to work off a mind map this morning to get started. Okay, can everybody see that?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. Xmind has improved their pitch demonstration, but they also had some new templates. So I thought this looked pretty good. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the three main tools that we use in our arsenal of blogging and auto blogging and content publishing, and when we use each one and why we use it. Then I've also got some other tools that we'll talk about. I don't want to go into full detail about them, but it's primarily stuff you might find on AppSumo. Okay, so let's start with Article Forge. Let's go and break this down here. So I'm going to do a software analysis, kind of the pros and cons, and then I'm going to talk about how we actually use it to create content. And I'll do this for each of the top three here. Okay. And I know we're going to get some questions. You know, I use Writers In or Copy.ai. If you have a tool that you use and you like it, keep on using it. You may want to add one of these in there, or you may see why we have them. And we're going to be offering some things, some done for you systems in the coming weeks that you'll go, hey, I don't want to buy the software. I'd rather have them do all the work for us. Okay, so let's start with Article Forge. So Article Forge is integrated directly into RSSMasher through an API connection. So that's one of the main reasons we use it. But here's some pros about it. It's easy to create a full blog post with just a few keywords. This is really important when you're automating, is you want to be able to send it keywords and get back a full blog post. You want it readable. And here's some things that you may not even think about. Article Forge creates a title. It doesn't just use your keyword. It actually creates a title and a heading for you and subheadings. These are checkable, so you can have it do subheadings or not. You can also go up to 1,500 words. Now, this is really nice if you want some really good detailed content. How we use it, we're between, Wayne and I do between 500 to 1,000 words using Article Forge. And the reason is we burn through words really quick. I think we have, at this point in time, I think we have almost 10 Article Forge accounts. So, and if you have RSSMasher, you can have more than one Article Forge account if you're cranking out a lot of articles. Okay. It can be set up automatically to even add a featured image and a YouTube video. Now, this is important because featured images are really what kind of drives your blog post, but it also drives SEO, is to have a featured image along with your blog. It helps kind of make it normalized. But the other thing is a YouTube video. if Google sees an embed, a YouTube embed in your blog post, on occasion, I've seen those posts they get indexed quicker and they seem to get ranked higher and stay higher. So it's always good to have a video embed, but you want a video that's related to the content. And that's what Article Forge does fairly well. I can say that sometimes the images are not spot on, but the YouTube videos are pretty close to either one of the subheadings or the heading itself. It passes Copyscape on an auto build, automatic auto writer. And that's really important, is if you're going to automate it and publish it to your site, you want to make sure it's not duplicate content. So I've found that for the most part, we're 10% to 20% on the high side when I run it against Copyscape. So if I'm not up in the 70, 80% or higher category, I feel comfortable. But when I'm in the 10 or 20%, that's okay. You'd like it to be lower, but for it to be automatically generated with subheadings, images, and videos, this is pretty dang good. Okay. And this is probably the most important part. It's fully API integrated with RSSMasher. Now, at this time, Article Forge is the only AI writer that can auto-generate an article with an API. Now, guys, if y'all find something else, let us know. I know Marcus said he's working on something. We haven't tested it yet, so I can't say if it works on an API. We've tried to work with Frase. We're at the top of the beta test list for Jasper when it comes out. But all these other companies have kind of pulled away from an API because it is taxing on their service. We're running 10 accounts and we're requesting it can generate a 500-word article in 3 minutes. So as soon as it's done, we're sending back another request. But we're doing it at least 10 times. And I know there's other guys out there that are using Article Forge and they got 20 or 30 accounts. So we're the ones taxing the server, okay? But that's okay. They designed it. We've agreed on the price and everybody's happy. But this is the way you ought to blog. If you want original content, unique content that's going to pass Copyscape, have headings, subheadings, and be readable. That's the most important part. There's a competitor out there that we've used in the past, and they do a beautiful job of putting headings, subheadings, images, and everything that is all SEO friendly. But the content, you can't even read from paragraph to paragraph or even sentence to sentence. It doesn't make sense. Article Forge, these are good articles that you're going to learn something from. It can also write in 6 languages. So the toughest SEO is in English right now, but you can do Spanish. I think it's Spanish, Dutch, Portuguese, German, French, and maybe another language in there, but it can write natively in 6 different languages. They also have a Word AI integration. Now, Word AI and Article Forge, they're owned by the same company. So they have a direct integration with Word AI that you can put your Word AI in there and it will automatically spin that content to even lower your Copyscape. Now, the problem sometimes when it spins, it's not as readable as it once was. But with Word AI, a lot of times it's even better if you spin it. So test that out. That's something that we test out all the time. And in our MasterNet, we're using Word AI and Article Forge hand in hand. In fact, we got 2 Word AI accounts because we burned so many words through there. So this is one of the things one of the reasons that we've chosen Article Forge and built a kind of a machine around Article Forge is the Word AI integration. And here's probably the best thing. The articles are ready to post to sites without any editing. Now, I say that, I always preface that. On occasion, we do notice there's some posts that it's not misspellings, it's wrong word usage, or maybe a fact is wrong. It's something that, if you're reading through it, go, this could be better. You could go in and edit it, straight from WordPress or in your Masher sites. So it's very rarely that I edit. Wayne and I are set it and forget it. And we're going to our philosophy is we're going to do as much quality content as we can. And we know we're going to have some bad quality in there. Instead of trying to be perfect with one per week, we're going to be fairly good with one per hour or one every 10 minutes. So our philosophy is I would say it's good content over perfect low content or perfect minimum content. Okay. Yeah, it's English, Dutch, French, German, Italian, Portuguese, and Spanish. Yep. So major languages there. Okay, so these are the pros. Now, I'm always well, there's got to be something wrong with it. Yes, there is no, and I don't know if this necessarily is wrong, but if you're writing, if you enjoy writing like I do, there's no tone of voice or style to use. Jasper, completely different. And we'll get to Jasper in a second. So you can't say, well, I want it to write in the style of Dan Kennedy or Eugene Schwartz or Jay Abraham or Tony Robbins. And I want it to be a storytelling mode. You get what you get out of it. Now, they've come out with 2 revisions over the last 3 months of quality improvements. And if you've read their blog post from 6 months ago to now, the quality is actually, it's improved, I believe. It's more, I wouldn't say conversational, it's more authoritative writing style. So it has improved, but you can't dictate what style to write in, okay? There's no variation choices like other AI tools. Now, what I mean by this is if you send it with an API with a set of keywords, you're going to get articles written. With Jasper, I can put a keyword in and do a content improve or a blog write, and I'm going to get anywhere from 3 variations to 20 variations with the style and the voice that I want in there. So there's some trade-offs. Now, the thing is the cost is lower too, okay? So it is, and I made a note here, it is going to occasionally miss on the image video insertions. So sometimes the images don't exactly make sense. And sometimes they're CC-free images, supposed to be anyway. Sometimes they're just not the highest quality, okay? So we've done other things inside our own software that can rotate or image swap. If you're RSSMasher, you can do image swaps on these. But videos, for the most part, are fairly good because they're using the subheadings and headings to search. This little part right here where they find the image and find the video, it's very helpful. I could say that we like what Article Force does. Now, let's talk about the quality. Guys, I don't have a empirical analytical tool that I'm looking at the readability. I've just been doing this for a long, long time, is writing content, writing blogs, and using automation tools. I've used VAs, I've used other competitor software. I've used RSS feeds and spun the RSS feeds. But I believe if I'm ranking scoring, the readability, is somebody actually going to read the first paragraph and go, okay, is this starting to make sense? I need to read further on. Okay, I give it about a 6 out of 10. Okay, VAs, when they write for me, or where English is a second language, I usually give them about a 3 or 4 out of 10. Fiverr gigs, yeah, you could spend a lot of money on Fiverr gigs and you could get it to maybe 7 or 8, but it's going to take time to get it back. So, what we're doing is an article every 3 minutes. You can't do that anywhere else except for Article Forge at this point. Okay. There will always be competitors. There will always be somebody that says, Damon, have you tried this? Wayne, have you tried this? We have tried it. I'm going to give you a list down below. The ones that we've tried is you know, because they're on AppSumo, they're one-time purchases. We're just like you. We don't want to pay monthly. We don't want to pay yearly. If we can pay a one-time low fee and it works for the next 2, 3, 4 years, and we can build a business around it, absolutely, we're going to pay one time. But you can't build a business around something that the producer gets all the money up front and they don't get any support money throughout the year. You can't build a business around it at all. I know, because you know we've tried selling one-time off products, and that's why we're on a monthly and yearly. Is we've got to support ongoing development, ongoing support, improvements, and you know, feature updates. We've done a lot on RSSMasher, but it's because you know we're on a yearly or monthly basis for the most part. Okay, so with that said, I got in early on Article Forge, but we still, all our new accounts, it's $324 a year, and we get the standard. We don't get the unlimited. The reason is unlimited and the standard, they're both 250,000 words on the API. It's not unlimited on the API. I wish it was, because we'd only have one account, but that's how they sell multiple accounts. Okay. This is the one I recommend, the standard, the $324 per year, if you're going to get Article Forge. If you got RSSMasher, please integrate them together and go to town producing original, unique article content. We have training inside RSSMasher. We have training inside the GeekOutFridays, how we do this. This is the tool of choice that we use, okay, for creating blogs, for auto blogging, okay? Now, I didn't say they're going to be perfect. I'm still at a score of about 6 out of 10, okay? Now, how do we use this to create content? We use the API. We auto-generate, I've said this earlier, is Wayne and I like 500 word articles. So 500 times 500 words times 500 articles is 250,000 words. So that's how we break it down like this. Now, just as an idea is, if every 3 minutes you write an article, that means you can get 20 in a day, or 20, you can write 20 articles per hour, 24 hours a day if you turn it on. And that means about 480 words if you're right at 3 minutes, okay, doing 500 words. So you can burn out your Article Forge account if you set it so it doesn't go over. You can burn it out in about a day, day and a half to 2 days. We'll go through 250,000 words. That's why we have multiple accounts in there, okay? So you can turn it to bill you if you go over, and it's, I want to say 25 cents per 1,000 words. It's not that expensive, but if you're running at 30 days out of the month, you know, you could, if you let that one account overrun, you can be up to $100 to $200 extra each month. So keep that in mind. It's cheaper if you're going to do, if you know that you're going to do 500,000 words or 1 million words per month, is to buy multiple accounts, okay? Because then that makes it about $17 a month for you doing it that way, okay? Now, just some examples of how we use it. I like to completely create, this is my wife's book. She just started bookkeeping and she knows nothing about websites, but she has, I think, 60 articles about bookkeeping. How did I get them? I got them through Article Forge. So I'm gonna share that screen so you can kind of look to see what we're doing here. Let's see. I'm just going to kind of go over the ones that we're building blogs with. And let's go into here. Okay. You see the Google Chrome? Okay. So this is bushcraft tips. This is a Masher site. And I've got articles coming in, I think daily, and I may have run up on that. So let's see, why are rabbits born blind? I didn't write this article, but it looks good. I've got an ad display over here. And rabbits are born blind with their eyelids shut. So they're actually, this is interesting, as they started doing some bolding in here. So these are subheadings. After opening, the fish is still developing. So what is the rabbit's eyes don't open? And can you tell if the rabbit's blind? And then, so this is a long form. Actually, I think this is probably an RSS feed right here. Guys, I do have some RSS feeds still running. So let's go down here. Yeah, this is another RSS feed. I don't know how I can get so lucky there. Let's go into survival skills. Okay, yeah. This is an article forge right here. Okay. So image, types of survival traps. So the image, I don't know if that actually matches up to that, but that is a good image. Deadfalls, pencil snares, you can see the different types of traps. And if you read through any of it, it talks about the subheading. So everything kind of relates back. I didn't even know there were that many. Top 3 simple survival traps. So notice the YouTube video is a good video about survival traps. Then we've got our ad display network coming in. So this is a Masher site, very, very nice. I feed it with RSS feeds and article forge. Now, this is my wife's bookkeeping site. We haven't even done any pages whatsoever. Well, I think we've got 1 page and a privacy policy. But when I build sites out for any clients, I will start them off with a blog because I want them to get found. I want Google to come in and find that this is a bookkeeping service and they write about bookkeeping articles. So that's the very first thing to get found with Google. Just very simple blog post. What's the difference between accounting and bookkeeping? Okay. We go in here and it looks like Nita wrote it, which I know she didn't. I just put her as the author. So there's our featured image. There's some subheadings, good content in here, and bookkeeping versus accounting, good YouTube video. So I am populating her site before we even do landing pages or pricing blocks or anything else. I'm going to start with a blog. Okay. You may recognize this. This is Ad Display Network. What did we start with? Before we started with anything else, we started with a blog. So we do have a sales page, and we sold out on our beta team. We're going to be launching this in October for everybody. But I didn't do this with the beta team, but we started this 6 months earlier with blogging. So header bidding and the waterfall effect. I don't know what the waterfall effect is, but it looks like I actually wrote it. Okay. So waterfall auction versus header bidding auction. So we have a recent post. This is just a regular blog post here, written by Article Forge. We have our subheadings in there. And this is a WordPress site. And we have what is header bidding. Okay. I have a little note about me and then other articles. So you can kind of see this is using a table of contents plugin. Looks really nice. I have not written a single article yet on Ad Display Network, but we've got, I want to say we have 120 articles about advertising, ad blocks, ad servers, everything. And it's all behind the sales page. You can access it right here, but I want Google to find this and look at this. Hey, Ad Display Network is all about advertising, ad servers. And so I'm giving Google what they want. I'm giving them helpful content. I'm giving them content that users can find, and they'll rank some of my sites or some of my posts in there. Okay, y'all seen all this? This is Amazing Hamburger. I'm using Article Forge. I'm doing Feedly to G Sheet method. I'm also using RSS feeds in here. So I've got a lot of content being fed in here. Anywhere from, I think we're at one point in time, we were doing 20 articles a day. I think we've scaled it back because I've run out of Article Forge campaigns. So charcoal versus pellet grill comparison. This is a great, I actually read through this, and I'm looking at pellet grills. So I want to know a little bit more. Do I need wood pellet or charcoal pellet? I didn't know that charcoal can be a little bit higher burn temperature. So it is informative articles, and they're all generated automatically. Okay. You've seen this. This is strictly, this is a WordPress site. It is there just for testing for us. And you can see I've got AdSense approved. I got our ad display network coming in there. I've got articles. All these are Article Forge. AdSense loves this. They're unique content. There's plenty of room for AdSense, plenty of room for our ads to go in there. I'm using Ad Inserter Pro along with our ad display network. So you can see I've got ads everywhere. Some of them don't make sense right now because we haven't started the official launch to the public yet. So we're testing different ads and different ad positions, but you can see I can carry a lot of video content in here. And then I've got a before and after. This is part of some other software we have. So this is a pretty decent site. I'm starting to get traffic on it. Not a lot of traffic, but I haven't done anything except test it. This is the one I'm testing with. Okay. So if I go into, just any of these, you could tell I've got a lot of articles in here about vegetable gardening, how to grow root vegetables in the spring. So anyway, just things to look at. So let's go back to stop sharing, and I'm going to go back to the next, which is Frase. Wayne, any questions at this point?
No.
Okay. So I'm going to close this out. Let's talk about Frase. Frase is a little bit different beast than the other two. And I bought Frase back 2 years ago when it was on AppSumo. They did a final pitch to it, well, a year and a half ago, and they added some other items, and you could get, if you upgraded to their top AppSumo codes, you got the Frase writer, or you got part of the writer. But it's all on one-time pay. They had Frase answers. Garen Green, I don't know if he's on the call. He convinced me, you need Frase. It's going to go places. I didn't use it for almost a year and a half. I had it, didn't use it, and I kept seeing they kept updating, kept sending new features, new updates, and then they added something on there, which is they call it their SEO add-on, but really what it is, it's an AI writer. And then they have AI templates. So I started going back through it. Guys, this is the real thing. This is, and I'm going to kind of go through and why you'll see why we use it and how it's different than everything else. Okay. So here's the pros. It is a SERP-based content brief from a keyword. So you could start with a single group of keywords. It will go out and look at the top, I think it's the top 20 search results for each keyword. Now, if you have combined keywords, I think it goes up to maybe 50 or 60 SERPs. You can adjust, you can say, I don't want that one. And so it will pull information from those SERPs. It's going to pull header information. It will pull frequently asked questions. People also ask stats, links, and it will create subheadings. But it also does a competitive analysis. It's saying to rank in the top 10, you need to have this number of headings, this number of words, this number of images, something similar to what Surfer does, Surfer SEO. So on their content analysis, very, very close. They even have a kind of a ranking score on there, but it helps you to optimize articles, okay? The SEO add-on tool, $35 a month, it's unlimited words, but it will write AI content in a way that you haven't seen before, okay? It has AI templates. They turn headings and sentences and even short paragraphs into long form content. So you can do your blog post off of it, but we use it for something different. And I'll show you down here in a second here. It is the fastest method to rewrite a top ranking post on the SERPs to make it your own. I can do this in about 5 minutes using custom AI templates. So what I do is I take the subheadings from a ranking article and I will rewrite those in my own tone of voice, AKA Frase's own tone of voice, with AI templates. Very easy to do. I didn't start doing this until about probably 4 or 5 months ago. It kind of keeps you focused. It's saying these are the most important subheadings that you can write about. Let us do something with them. So I found out we can do something with them, and there's something else that we do with them. It does, I mentioned this earlier, it helps in optimizing your own content. So you can put your own blog post in there, give it the keywords, and it's going to say you need to do more headings, you know, more words, something very similar to what you would see in Surfer and Jasper. Okay. Here's what we use it for, is helpful content. In the content brief, and I'll go over Frase and we'll just make one up. In the content brief, you can bring in questions, stats, and links. And also you can create how-to articles. So we are building this for our own pages, but we're going to be adding this to RSSMasher, where you can input your own stuff in there, or if you want us to do it, spin it, get it perfectly formatted for you, and then place it in there. We're going to have a done for you service opening in a few weeks. This is what we use it for. I'm going to show you how on Frase in just a second here. Now, here's the thing, is it does have a learning curve. I'll start here. It takes a few hours to kind of get the basics down. And I say a few more days, it could be a few more weeks to become really proficient at it. I'm not saying I'm proficient, but at what we do, the helpful content, we've gotten a system down, a workflow process down that we have, either I do it or my VA does it, that we can write a 3,000 to 4,000 word helpful content brief and have some really great answers with it. Okay. To write a helpful content brief, just a fairly decent one that you're just going through, you're not editing anything, you're finding answers, writing them, you're using the SEO add-on, it's going to take you about 20 minutes. Now, to do it right, it may take 30 minutes, maybe a full hour to do a really good content brief that you might want to use as your pillar post. But we're using these as add-on. So supplemental to your own content, you put helpful content briefs. We talked about it in our last Geek Out Friday. Google is going to be cracking down on, and it's not on posts, it is on the entire site. So if you have enough articles in there that don't have any helpful content, they're just built for SEO only, they're not going to just penalize the post. They're going to penalize the entire site. And they say not penalize, they're going to put you in timeout. So you won't rank anything on your site. So keep that in mind, is you're going to have to do something to help your content out in the future. You don't have to do every single post, but you need a good majority to have something that when they read that article, it's unique. You've got some helpful content in there of some type that people want to go, oh, I want to scroll to the bottom to learn more about this. Okay. So we've talked about it in the last Geek Out Friday. We're going to have probably another couple of Geek Out Fridays talking about SEO and helpful content. Okay. The con here is it doesn't have an API that auto generates. Okay, it has an API, and you can pull anything that you can do with a content brief. You can pull it with an API. The problem is you can't rewrite on the API yet. I know it's coming. Yep, and Wayne just dropped the link for Frase. Okay. It works best with the SEO add-on. That's $35 a month. I'm paying it, and I'm like, I just don't want to pay another monthly add-on. I bought it on AppSumo. They pissed off a lot of customers when they had sold it on AppSumo and then come out with an SEO add-on. It is definitely worth it if you're doing certain things with it. If you're doing helpful content, or you're rewriting top articles. That's what I do with it. I rewrite top articles. But I'll show you how we're using the SEO add-on. Okay, the learning curve. And we talked about this. You want to be proficient at it, but find a workflow that you're going to use it for before you invest a lot of time and money on it. Okay. Now here's the big deal. I give the article, and it's not Article Forge. I give Frase a quality score, a quality readability score for the content it produces, 8 out of 10. So it's gone up. The quality has gone up a little bit, but the template writers that I'm using, they write in a semantic method, which they basically read the content, suggest outlines within itself, pick those outlines and pick the bullet points of the outline, rewrite the bullet points, and then they start with the article. That's all done inside a template. You don't even see how it's done. I just know it's very conversational. That's the thing. It's more storytelling and conversational, the templates that you can get inside of here, okay? Which makes it more readable, makes it more interesting for you to read. It doesn't look like it's just, auto-generated, or doesn't look like it's written for facts only, okay? Cost. It is a little bit more than you're going to be spending with Article Forge, okay? You can get the basic package, which is 30 articles for $480 a year, or you can do unlimited articles for $1,200 a year, okay? I would start out right here. You may not go over 30 articles, but what you may be doing with the 30 articles is writing your helpful content brief. So, and it's not 30 articles per year, it's 30 articles per month. Make that distinction there, per month, okay? So that 30 that's a lot of work. If you're going to spend an hour on each content brief and you've got a lot of content in there, and then you're going to push it into RSSMasher, this might work for you. Now, here are some add-ons that I would recommend. The SEO add-on, I've talked about this, $35 a month. It is unlimited AI writing. So if you don't have Jasper, you don't have Article Forge, you want to do it yourself, and you want to use Frase, we have that, but we use it. And with the SEO add-on, there's some other SEO features you get with it, but I primarily use it for the AI writer and the AI templates that come with it. So you get some additional templates with it, but there's some guys in there that have really become very proficient, and they've written their own templates. I recommend this one. Peter Haviland's, it's an AI template package, and it's a one-time pay, it's $147. But he has some AI templates in there that write in first person for the most part, and it's kind of like lowers the Kincaid index reading level to like a 6th or 7th grader, but they're interesting to read, and especially if you're answering frequently asked questions. So I'm going to show you how we do this. There's the link to it. So what do we use this for? Primarily, Wayne and I are using this for helpful content briefs. And like I said, we're going to be bringing this feature into RSSMasher in the coming weeks. We also do listicles. I think this is going to be added hopefully in the next, in the same time as the helpful content briefs, but you can make really decent listicles because you're looking at everybody's content all at fingertips, and you can create listicles with it. You can create some incredible how-to articles. So we're doing how-to articles inside of our helpful content brief because we can do it kind of on the fly. So let's take a look at it. I'm going to bring over my Chrome, and you should see that screen.
Yep.
Okay. So that's Article Forge. And I really didn't go into Article Forge a lot. It's really easy. Create a new article. We use the API, so it seldom even come in here. So I'm going to create a new article. Give it your main keyword. If you add multiple keywords, it makes it better. And you can put they even have a bulk article generator. Article lengths, there's your very long. We usually are right at medium. Add titles, absolutely. We add section headings, and we auto generate the section headings. I want the AI to do all the work for me. Okay. Add image, add video, replace keywords with links. You can do this on the fly. We generate through API. We do the word API, but you can also auto post to your WordPress blog if you want to go direct. Now, I've heard people say they have some issues with the posting. I can't tell you yes or no because we don't use this method. We go into RSSMasher and then go out to Word AI. Then you hit create new article. It's really that easy. That's how simple Article Forge is. So let's take a look at Frase. I'm going to create a new document, and Wayne, I'm going to put you on the hot seat here. Give me a keyword, target search query. Long tail works best.
Bathroom refit.
Okay. Let's call it bathroom.
That's what just go to me for some reason.
Bathroom updates. Make this year. Okay, that would be a question maybe in somebody's mind that's doing some bathroom remodeling. So I'm going to create a document. So I'm going to hit let's go. And if you were on the call, I think last week when we did helpful content, you've seen this before. But I want everybody to be very comfortable with Frase, especially the workflow that we're doing with Frase. So it's kind of just scrolling through there. It's pulling that as a search. And now I'm going to do this. I'm going to look at what is in the best bathroom updates. I want to get rid of the Amazon and eBay, maybe Forbes. How much does that's a pretty good article. So I'm looking through these, and I want bathroom pictures and ideas you'll love. I'm going to take that out. I don't want bathroom pictures. I don't want photos. I want articles. So make sure these are articles. 30 bathroom remodeling. Pinterest. I'm going to take that out. Pinterest. Take that out. Angie's List. Take that out. I don't like Angie's List. Washington Post. Answered questions on bathroom makeovers. This is going to help with my frequently asked questions. Ideas on a budget. This old house is always really good for content. How much does a bathroom cost? Okay. Let's go down here. Bathroom remodel cost, budget, average, luxury. I'm going to go ahead and take that one out. That looks more like a calculating cost. It has domain authorities in here. I'm going to leave those. So we got about probably 17. We'll hit save. Okay. Now, this is where the magic comes in. I'm going to do automate content brief. Now, if I'm going out to a VA or to a copywriter, content writer, I would want to put some high-level goals and guidelines for them to write about. But I'm not. I'm going to do frequently asked questions. So people also ask, I don't need the SERP results. That's not going to help anybody. It's titles and descriptions. Topics. You could do top 20 topics across each search result. I'm going to skip that. I'm going to skip topic clusters. Now, if I'm doing a how-to article, I might want to do this right here, okay? But I'm not. I'm going to do questions, statistics, hyperlinks. I'm doing frequently asked questions. Did you know type content? Insert brief into editor. Okay, so people also ask, these are great questions. This is from the SERPs, questions, statistics, got a lot of statistics in here, and external links. Perfect, okay. So why would you put external links? We've always been told, if you've been in blogging long enough and you followed all the experts out there, is you want a single call to action on every blog post. You don't want to outbound your links, because that's link leakage is what they called it. In fact, I bet you almost everybody on the call has some videos that they have saved on their computer, training videos telling you don't put external links on your blog posts. That's the entirely opposite philosophy right now. Google is wanting you to, in content, in SEO, they want to compare you to other people. They want you, if you're an expert, you are going to be ranking, you're going to be listing other sources to get information. Ideally, you want to list the top sources, okay? And that's why we have these external links in here. Do you have to use every one of them? No, just pick out a few of them in there. And if you do our done for you where we spin them, we're going to spin the content inside of here, but keep the link itself, okay? Very important. You may want to do only 2 or 3 of these per blog post, and you may just want them randomly chosen. That's what we're going to do for you, okay? Statistics. These are from the SERPs. They're not AI written statistics. So you can go in and check these, make sure they're all right. But I'm going to go with, they're pulled directly out of other sites. So I'm going to assume these are right. Now, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not going to tell you these are legal statistics. So you make your decision. Okay. So here's where I need the AI, related questions asked on Google. I'm going to take that part out. Don't need that at all. And I'm just going to call this frequently asked questions. Okay. And I'm going to get rid of the bullet points. I don't need the bullet points because we're going to do something different with it. Get rid of those. You got a full document editor up here. You can insert images, videos. You can even do tables, checklists, but I'm going to get rid of those. So I'm going to come over here to questions, all the same to me, and get rid of the bullet points. Okay, now we're going to have some fun. Okay, what is new for bathrooms in 2022? I don't know, and I don't want to look it up, so I want to use my AI writer. I'm going to hit enter. And I can either use the plus or I can use a slash. Now, the registered versions, these are the ones that I had to pay for, okay? But I'm going to use this semantic author. This is one of my favorite, and AI professional and AI writer, agency writer, okay? So I'm going to use this one on this question. And it's saying, well, what do you want me to write about? If you hit the up arrow, it's going to grab the sentence right above it, okay? This is the creativity level. You can go very creative. This is 1 out of 5. This is the least creative. It's going to write, conservatively, not change much. So I'm going to go with 2. I'm gonna let the AI have a little bit of fun here. I'm gonna run the template. Okay, so it's trying to, it started a bullet point for me, and I'm just going to write more. Okay. So it kind of concluded, that's what I wanted it to do. I wanted it to finish the bullet points and conclude it. Okay. In modern times, we see emerging in different types of bathrooms. For example, here's the types of toilets. Okay. You may not want that in there, but the concept of bathroom was born in ancient times. So it's okay. But here's the cool thing is, if I wanted to, I could come down here and just do it again. But this time I'm going to do AI professional. Hit the up arrow. And let's go ahead and give it a little creativity. Let it think and let it write. So how can you create a space that feels welcoming? Okay, it's asking more questions, but here's some ideas. And let's just see if we can hit write more and if it will repeat the pattern in there. There we go. Install a mirror, add storage. These are really good ideas that are not that expensive. It creates a spa-like atmosphere. Okay, I don't know about that. So anyway, you can keep on writing if you want to. If you want to take this completely out, you know, you would just like a regular editor, just remove that. Okay, so this is how, what bathroom sinks are in style in 2022. I don't know. So I would come down here and let's write, let's do agency writer. Get up, and we're just going to leave it at 1 out of 5. Okay, so wall-mounted sinks are perfect, and freestanding sinks are great. So you might even want to come in here and bullet point these. Okay, just to make them easier to undermount sinks. That's one. Okay, and pedestal sinks. Okay, and I'm just going to write just a little bit more, see if we can get a conclusion in there. Okay, there we go. So then I would come in here and let's just bullet point those. There we go. So you can see how all this is done. You can come in and make these, if you want to do H3s, just, you know, to clean it up, what's new, H3, make that an H2, and boom. So now you've got content right here. You just copy and you can paste it in here. I would, for the reason it takes me time, I'm going to answer every one of these questions right here. Okay. Now I'm going to go down and I'm going to write a how-to. So I'm kind of looking at questions. So I'm going to come down and do a how-to section down here. Add it to the bottom here and how-to. I would put in here 7 steps to remodel my bathroom on a budget. Okay, so that's what I want to write about. I'm going to do slash, see if my semantic author will pick that up and write steps for me. I don't want to answer a question, I want steps. And it's thinking a little bit. How to remodel bathroom on a budget. Step 1, step 2. Okay, here's some steps to keep in mind. So I would just keep hitting write more. Write more. Down to 5, 6, See if it does 7, and it's going to go ahead and do 8. Now here's something that I really like. In conclusion, it will write a summary for you. So what I'm going to do is expand, insert AI transition summary. Okay, in conclusion, there we go. That went really south on me there. So we'll just do in conclusion and hit write. Okay. Now it's starting into kitchen. Perfect. I've got a really decent how-to article in here, but it hasn't taken much time. I'm gonna make that a H2, and let's take that one out. And you can even come in here, and what I kind of like to do is just do maybe an opening paragraph. So you might have some, there's a whole bunch of templates you can put in there to do that. And the other thing I want to show you is, should master. Okay, that's a good one. So there's all types of free templates in here. So if you just wanted an answer, I'm just going to type answer. Do paragraph answer, core answer, short answer, simple answer, bullet point to answers. So let's do a Quora answer. Up arrow and run it. Okay, and we'll see if we can write more. And we'll write more, see if it will finish that paragraph. Okay. We'll conclude that paragraph right there. So you want to do this for all your questions. And you've got all types of transitional sentences and phrases. And the other thing too is you can highlight this and rewrite sentence by sentence or paragraph by paragraph. Now Jasper does this as well. Okay, I'm just going to paste that in there. Okay, so now you're ready. You would just copy, you got all your answers, paste it into a Word doc, or you would have to go question by question. You can paste it into RSSMasher at some point in time, or paste the questions and answers in there. So really, this is what we use it for, is this helpful content. Okay, so I'm going to hop back over to the mind map, and we're going to wrap up with Jasper. So change screens here. Wayne, any questions up to this point?
I'm amazed that there isn't.
Okay.
Everyone must be fixated on the screen.
I know there's a debate brewing somewhere. Like, guys, I use Copy AI and it does everything y'all are talking about all in one. Okay. Okay, so we're done with that. Let's go into our, should see the mind map.
Still on Frase.
Okay. Stop share. Share screen and mind map.
Yep.
Okay. So we are looking at Jasper now. Now, guys, this has a lot of pros on it, but I want to start out. This is one of the granddaddies. I'm not saying it's the original, but it is the granddaddy of AI content writing. They've been around almost 2 years now. I think I came in, I was number 135 or something like that. So Wayne and I both wanted, we've got to have the ability to write content faster than we're doing that is unique and original and interesting. So when this first came out, it was called Conversion AI at the time. They came out with a lot of templates, and it's got some features I haven't seen anywhere else, but it is the original, or one of the originals. Okay. It's what I say, it's the best freeform writing, AI writing tool and I'm going to change tool to assistant. Okay. Because it really is an assistant to you I've ever used. And it's constantly open in my browser. I have it open anytime I open Chrome. AI Jasper opens up in one of the tabs. And the reason is I use it for a lot of things. I may want to rewrite a sentence. I may want a better paragraph. I may want a problem agitate solution concept, or I may want bullet points. Well, they're all in there. So I can do that. Or if I just want a quick blog post, I can certainly do that as well. But primarily is if you're in marketing, you're going to be doing emails, you're going to be doing sales pages, blog posts, you're writing all the time. If you enjoy writing, Jasper is a perfect assistant to you. They haven't got it down like Article Forge, but the quality's higher. And that's because you're putting your own input in there as well. And you're kind of massaging what the results are, okay? They are constantly innovating with new templates and custom recipes. Just last month, they came out with the blog writer, which is basically a keyword, tone, voice, and it's off to the races. Real easy to do to write a full blog post. And that's anywhere from 600 to 1,000 words. And it does an intro paragraph, content, and a conclusion. Really, really nice stuff. I'll show you how it's done in a second. JasperAi. This is something new that's just, it can be done elsewhere. They're using an, I think, DALL-E 4 or DALL-E 5 to generate some artwork. You may not have noticed, but the original image, the slide image that we started with today was generated, part of it was generated with JasperAi. I use it for a lot of things, and it really gives me some creativity. The problem is it's just like Facebook. It is one of the greatest time wasters I've ever experienced online. I go in to get a simple image, and 30 minutes later, I'm looking up and I'm generating, pictures of funny cats or dogs or some artwork, because it's really fun to use. So just kind of monitor your time with it. But it is built in. It's an extra fee. I think they're charging $20 per user in there per month. I think it's worth it. There's some other tools out there Wayne's been exploring. Similar in price. They have a little bit more features, but JasperAi has a lot more. It's commercial usage. So you buy it, you don't have to pay them anything to use that artwork in commercial applications, okay? Jasper integrates nicely with Surfer SEO. Surfer SEO has a scoring system, and they have content briefs. We use this all the time to score articles, to optimize them for SEO. Now, with the most recent update of helpful content, do you still score your articles? We do, but we don't want to keyword stuff. That's the problem that some of these tools have. Some of the AppSumo tools, they get a really good high Surfer SEO score, but they don't read very well because they're keyword stuffing. And you don't want to do that in today's auto blogging or content publishing of any type. Is to get your articles ranked, you have to write for people. Don, I'll give you the link to Peter Hathaway's deal in near the end of the call. It's definitely worth it. Okay. You can create sales pages. You have to kind of work with it a little bit. There's some recipes out there, and recipes are basically using templates, but you're conversing with the computer itself, or with Jasper, the AI. So I like to set mine up with certain styles, certain tones of voice. I'll just talk about that next. I like Dan Kennedy and Jay Abraham. So one of those is sitting across the desk from me, helping me write articles. So that's the way you kind of need to think about it is, okay, Dan doesn't know everything there is about RSS feed automation, and neither does Jay, but they know how to make it sound well. So I need to put in the right content and let Jay and Dan take turns writing, and I get variations. So I can see Dan, Dan's going to try 5 times, and then I let Jay Abraham try for 5 times. Sometimes Jay is he's more direct, very persuasive sales copy. Dan leads off into a story. I've used Mike Filsaime. I use Frank Kern. I use Tony Robbins. I use Gary Vee. So if you want them to kind of help you write without paying them, Jasper is the right one. Now, you can also put in what style do you want to use. I like to use smart, convincing, storytelling mode. So I use storytelling mode, and then I'll type comma Dan Kennedy or Jay Abraham or Eugene Schwartz. So I will, let's see if I can just put this in here. You want to know the top copywriters that I like. And let's see if I can bullet point them. For some reason, they didn't let me bullet point correctly. Gary Halbert, David Ogilvy. If you want some classic Mad Men type of style of headlines, go with David Ogilvy. Dan Kennedy and Jay Abraham is what I write long form content. Gary Vinca, he consolidates content really well into a persuasive call to action. So depends on what I want in here. Clayton Makepeace, very good sales writers. Claude Hopkins, he's an old schooler. So is Robert Collier. These are old schoolers, 30s, 40s, and 50s. Same with Ogilvy. Eugene Schwartz, 60s and 70s. Frank Kern, current. Okay. So I'm giving you my secret list. I hope you appreciate this. Right? If you are smart, you'd make a screen copy of this. I'm going to leave it up for a second. Everybody hit print screen. Okay. Keep on going here. Tony asking, what percentage of highly optimized articles are you creating per 100 AF articles? Tony, that's a good question. In our PBN network that is kicking off this week, hopefully, we are combining AF articles with helpful content briefs. So we may not be writing, we may not have Damon Nelson style writing or Wayne Atkinson actually writing the article for our PBN networks. For DamonNelson.com, LaunchNinjas.com, Big Penguin Productions, I write probably 2 to 3 articles for every 10 AF articles. And I use Jasper to write them. So I'm just changing my style of how I write. I don't sit down at a blank screen anymore. I used to do that. I'm a pretty good copywriter, but I told somebody this the other day. What normally would take a Dan Kennedy or Jay Abraham about 30 minutes to write or an hour will take me all of 2 to 3 weeks. So I don't know really how good a copywriter I am if it takes me that long, but I hate staring at a blank screen. I would rather give bullet points, keywords, and let these guys over here help me write a 1,000-word article and then come in and edit to make it more my style and Dan Kennedy's style. So these guys help me write. But I will do a 2,000-word article, Surfer SEO, about once or twice a week. But I also like writing too. And sometimes I syndicate the content. I will, send it through RSSMasher. I sometimes get higher impressions and likes and all that on the article forge because it has a good title or something like that. So it's a trade-off. But if you like writing, write as much as you want. If you don't like writing, hire somebody that likes to write. But we talked about this in previous Geek Out Fridays, is you want to have some pillar posts. You want some good content in there that you can really direct. You can do all the internal linking back to that good content, okay? Because that's what's going to help you rank long-term is pillar posts. These fill-in articles like Article Forge, yeah, you're going to get, especially if you've got helpful content, those are going to get long tail keyword ranked, but they're not going to be in the competitive keyword ranking. Your pillar posts, things that you do yourself, the 2,000 to 3,000 word article, those are the ones that you want to try to rank. Okay, good question. Okay, so different styles. They have different templates, and I love the templates, especially this little mini VSL. Thank you, Ad Display Network. I made a Ad Display Network mini VSL. It's 2 minutes long. I wrote the entire thing using this one to Jasper. I tweaked it a little bit. It took me a couple hours to get it right. Then I recorded it, did it in the style of, in fact, I used Lumen 5. I went and got the professional, whatever version of Lumen 5. I probably could have done it in PowerPoint, slideshow, or I even got some other little cheesy JVZoo VSL makers, but I think it came out really well. We sold a significant portion of offers once I posted this VSL. And I'm not just saying to our current, our customers right now, but we opened it up. We did a little promotion in social networks, and we pulled some off of Twitter, and we pulled some off LinkedIn. I say pull. We sold to new customers that have never seen this before, that the only introduction to it was a mini VSL. So I would attribute this right here to probably about 10,000 in sales. I hate to give out numbers because everybody goes, well, I didn't make 10,000 in sales. You know, here's what we did. In addition, with our VSL, we made about 10,000 extra to new customers that have never seen us before. So that worked. That made us money. AIDA framework. If you're writing a sales page, you're writing convincing copy to be persuasive in sales, attention, interest, desire, and action. Problem, agitate, solution. They have both the PAS framework and the AID framework. This helps you get your mind wrapped around what are we trying to sell? How do we convince a customer that, you know, this product is the right one for them? And also perfect headlines. So these are just some of the templates that we use. This is kind of a fun one right here, is if you want to just get wild with what you're doing, you know, do a creative story with it, okay? There's also recipes. I use the AI author. Those guys write recipes for Jasper. In fact, I just went through a John Benson's attention framework that is right there. He's a grandfather of VSLs, is John Benson. And they are doing an integration in with Jasper so that you can write full long form VSLs with Jasper using his tool back and forth. So this is that Jasper keeps on growing. They have, I know they did some equity pitches out there, and I know they have equity partners probably in the range of 10 to $20 million at this point. So they have the money to invest. They're always hiring. They've got, I think, a staff of 100 people. So that comes back to, is this a better product than the other products? They got more people to throw at it. They got more data scientists. They got more AI scientists, you know, actual scientists, not marketers. So I want to go where the money's at. That's where we build businesses from, is companies that are going to be around 2, 3, 5 years from now. I mean, we can't guarantee they're going to be around, but if they have more money to be around, then, you know, Whereas AppSimo, you pay them $67. It's a lifetime purchase. There's no guarantee that company's going to be around in 1 month or 1 year from now. So that's why we want to focus on tools that we can use now and in the future. Okay. And guys, I'm losing my voice. I'm going to try to wrap this up fairly quickly here. Helps to get creative copy templates. Well, I've already talked about that. They have a new template. It's a single keyword blog post writer where you drop in a keyword or a long tail keyword, and it will write a blog post for you. The document editor is really easy to use. It's similar to what Frase has. Does all types of formatting, image inserts, video inserts, and it works with Grammarly. This is one of the things that you got to keep in mind. Grammarly has some AI built into it to help you rewrite sentences that make them, it clarifies the sentences. So think in terms of Grammarly as kind of your assistant looking at Dan Kennedy and Jay Abraham and say, hey, we're going to fix what you have and make it sound right. So top copywriters in the world hang out in this group. Sean Vossler, Sean Donahue. I know Vossler is one of the best copywriters right now. He's always commenting. So you do have some, I know John Benson hangs out in here, and Darby Rollins and Zachary Stafford. So these are really good professional copywriters are using Jasper. They're even hanging out in the Facebook group. Okay. And it's fun. Did I mention Jasper Art? Hopefully you get the idea. It's got a lot of things going for it, but here's the con. It is an AI writing assistant. Okay. It's not an AI writer. You can't drop keywords in there for the most part. Take that document and post it immediately. You have to do some editing yourself. To write a good 2,000 word pillar post, it could take you a few hours. I'm just basing on my experience. It takes me a few hours. I'm slow, but hopefully I'm steady on here too. But I want to get, in the 80s on the surfer without keyword stuffing. Okay. Then I want to put some helpful content, some stats in there. Learning curve. It's a few hours to get the basics down. In fact, sometimes even easier than that. Use the templates to start with, but they have a full document writer, editor, and then the recipes that some of these guys have written. I am using them. They are very, very powerful in what they do, how they're set up structurally. Okay. So I'm always learning new things. That's why it's kind of, every month there's 2 or 3 brand new templates that I go in there and play with. So there burns 8 hours of learning and learning how to be proficient at it. So pick you 1 or 2 of these tools and be proficient. Okay. Unfortunately, if you're not a founding member, it gets to be a little pricey if you're doing high volume. Okay. And just, they changed the names too often. It's been Conversion AI, Jarvis AI, now it's JasperAi, and I hope they don't change anymore. Okay, quality score. I give it a readability score 9 out of 10. Now, here's the thing. It does take work on your part to get it to this point. Okay, it's not just straight out of the box. You're going to get a 9 out of 10. I'm going to spend some time rewording the sentences, making sure, that the flow of the article itself, you have your intro, your blog, your content, your proof, if you're doing a PAS, problem, agitate, solution, AIDA. And I want to make sure it makes sense to my viewer. If you put the time in it, you're going to get a pretty decent article that can rank. Okay. Now, cost. $1,000 a year, it's a little pricey. Boss mode. You want the boss mode. Okay. You get 100,000 words per month. Now, I think they run every once in a while, where you get 200,000 words a month for 1,000. But I got in early. If you can get in with anybody as a sub user on their boss mode, I have boss mode, $1,000 a year, but it's unlimited. Okay. And it's great because I go in there all the time. So I don't know how many words I spend each month, But for a normal person with 2 or 3 blogs and you want to just do pillar post and maybe do some headlines or sales copy, this is probably the easier one to do. Okay, here's the link to it. If you have any questions about how to use any 3 of these, I can kind of help you. Okay, I can't say that I'm going to spend a lot of time explaining how to use Jasper, but we've done a lot of videos on how to use Jasper, how to use Article Forge. Last week we did how to do Frase. I've kind of shown you a little bit on that. So I'm going to go into Jasper in just a second and show you. Okay, but let's talk about some of the other AI tools out there. Page Rewriter. This is Mike Martin's software, and a few of y'all probably have that. It does an okay job. The original launch price, I think, is, you know, it was really cheap then, and it was on a very low monthly, but he's coming along. I don't use it. I used it right at the very beginning because I'm using all 3, and I'm going to have some other time time left over in the day to do it. But if you just want something inexpensive, this is probably a decent choice to look at. It is SERP based. Okay, so that means it's going to look at the SEO and pull content from the SEO search, and I think it's the top 20 that it pulls from. So it's similar to Frase in that it is SERP based. Does he have all the templates and recipes and that Frase does? No, but it is cheaper than Frase, and it's on the equivalent of Article Forge. So if you got Page Rewriter, you're comfortable with it, stick with it, stay with it. Okay. AppSumo deals. Everybody asked me about Writers In, Lead Scripts, Word Hero, Text AI. There's probably 3 new ones that have come up since I wrote this earlier today. There is AI writers all the time happening here. Now, what they do, and because they're all fairly new when they started, Copy AI is not available anymore on AppSumo. I don't think Writers In is either. Copy AI is probably the best one of all these, but everybody can make an argument for Writers In or Word Hero or Text. Hey, these guys don't have the funding that Jasper does. Copy AI is probably one of the original AI writers out there. Yeah, Michael said Closer's Copy. I'm going to put that in here. I forgot about that. Okay. Now, let me tell you something. I have bought every single one of them. I still have Lead Scripts because I didn't get it refunded in time. I compare all this to Jasper. I'm going to be sticking with Jasper. I know where they're going. I know the roadmap, and I know they've got the money in there. But at $67, $97, or even $297 to buy all the one-time pays on this, they did not match up. Okay, so whatever anybody says about these, you've got to compare them to the professional. If you want a one-time pay, this is just check them out. So I'm not saying anything bad about them. I'm just saying they're not on the same level as what Jasper is. And then we have none of these do an API like Article Forge. If they do, we may come back and revisit them, but none of them create an article that is ready to go into a WordPress with images, a video, subheadings, all spelling correct, perfect tense, and ready to go. Okay, so try them out. I encourage you. You know, AppSumo's 60-day refund policy. I use that. Somebody asked about what am I using. This is Xmind. It's a mind map program. I use this all the time. It's gotten better as far as different templates to use. Okay, email writer. This has, I bought one. I bought the agency license so I could sell. I think I had 40 licenses that everybody has the same we do. They've got some nice email templates in there. They're modeled after top email copywriters. So if you're looking for an email to send, this is, it's kind of a neat thing is you can pull up one, modified, and then they have a little bit of AI assistance. it's based on a credit system. It's like, I don't want to say 6,000 words, but you're probably not going to go over it if you're just rewriting email copy. Okay. So this is just something, you know, if you get it on AppSumo, it's probably worth it. So just keep that in mind. Okay. So last thing, I want to go back to Jasper and I want to show you a little bit about what it does. I'm right at an hour and a half, so I'm not going to go more than 10 more minutes. And let's just stop sharing that screen and share Chrome. Okay, so that was Frase. So once you go into, Wayne, can you see the Jasper?
Yep.
Perfect. Now this is what you start with. I'm in the dashboard level. If you look at templates, you can pull up, the reason they're yellow is I put little stars on them, so they're highlighted. These are the ones I use a lot: Mini VSL, Company Bio. We built minion builders with this right here: personal bio and company bios, featured to benefits. This is what I'm really focused on when I'm doing marketing copy, but what Wayne and I talk about are the features all the time. Well, to convert it, we're going to go feature to benefit. And sometimes your mind isn't thinking about that. So I'll put in the features that we just added and convert them to benefits. And then I'll put those into an email that we're talking about, or a Facebook post. Okay. Blog post conclusion paragraph. I use that a lot. This one right here is the content improver. Put a couple lines in there and it will improve your content. So here's just a great example right here. Join us on GeekOutFridays, where we discuss AI writers, tone of voice, J. Abraham, story-based, descriptive, visceral, emotion. Let's just put smart. Okay, descriptive, story-based. I'm going to do 5 outputs. You can vary this. Let's just do 3 just to make it easy. Generate. How come? Okay, very short paragraph. That's right. Join us where we discuss, we can use your content and what makes them so effective and how they will make everything easier by writing great posts on time without fail. Guys, this is from J. Abraham. This is great content right here. Okay. So I could just good completion right there. And if I want to copy it, I can just copy it to clipboard and it's ready to paste into a Facebook post. Okay, so you notice I didn't do anything special here. I just wrote a sentence. Okay, and tone of voice, generate content. So if I said, well, let's see what Dan Kennedy has to say about it. Okay, generate content, 3 outputs. See how fast it is. So he's writing more in a second person, where he's talking you. Okay. Future content is already here. Very, very nice. And again, you can change this all the time. It's very, very flexible on how you do it. Now, you can look at history and you can kind of go back and see what you've done in history. So it will just kind of start scrolling down, pulling up all your history. So you can see I used that one particular template a lot. One-shot blog post. This is the new one they just came out with. So let's write about a blog topic and remodeling a bathroom budget. And let's just say Dan. Trying to remember who does This Old House. Dan Kennedy, smart. Let's have him tell a story based. Okay, intended audience is DIY home owners. And we'll just do 3 versions of it, generate AI content. So what I'm doing is I'm actually writing a blog post right now.
This whole house, is it Jen Largesse or something like that?
What's that?
Jen Largesse, this old house.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, so Dan says, how to save money when remodeling your home. So we have a bathroom remodel is a big project. Okay, that's the introduction. Here's the body. Start with a plan. Don't move any plumbing. That's very important. I've done home remodeling. This is what costs you money right here. Shop around for materials. Okay, hire a professional. That's always the best advice I could give when I was home remodeling is if I didn't have a professional, it cost me twice as much money for either I or somebody I hired off the street to do it. Take your time. Okay, very, very generic, but it is a blog post. It is something that you can start with. So in conclusion, so there's an intro, a body, and a conclusion. How to remodel your bathroom. Okay, here's a good introduction right here. There's the body. So flooring, walls, conclusion. So the cabinetry, flooring, and walls. Okay, 3 ways to save on your bathroom remodeling. Save on do it yourself, get creative, cut corners. Okay. I don't know if I want to cut the corners. Okay. So anyway, I would probably maybe flesh this out a little bit. Now you can send it straight into document if you wanted to modify it. Okay. So this is their document editor. So you can come in here and go, okay, here is the introduction. It gave me a title, Remodeling on a Budget. Let's make this the H1. Okay. I'll come over here, make this H2. Make these bullet points, maybe H3. Well, I don't want the whole bullet point, so let's just redo it. I'll just bold them. Okay. And then I would take the word conclusion out. I'm just going to make it just like that. I'm ready to go. Now, I would probably put some images in here. Just start dropping images. I can do some add links in here. You know, you get your basic editor right here. I can use Grammarly on it as if I wanted. In fact, I have Grammarly, I think, turned off up here. Yeah. So check text with browser extension. Let's turn it back on. So Grammarly is ready to use. With afraid of a bit of elbow grease. So I've just kind of looked, many resources are available. Okay, so it's going to rewrite for clarity. Make sure you, okay. So this is kind of how I use Grammarly is I let it rewrite everything. So it's rewriting the sentence that Dan Kennedy had, okay? Just to make it a little bit clearer, make sure the grammar's right. Okay, you don't have to accept every one of them out there. Okay, that looks good. And then it's going to give me a score. Okay, 2 others I'll take that out. Okay, looks pretty decent. Now I'm ready to put this in a Word doc, so I would just go Control A, Control C, and then paste it into either a Word doc, or in our case, we're going to paste it into external content in our masher sites, or RSSMasher. Okay, so we're ready to go with that. This is a pretty decent, took about maybe 3 minutes to do. Dan Kennedy helped us, and it's written for DIY homeowners. Real nice. Now you can also get in here. So what's a budget conscious homeowner to do? Don't worry, we have some tips for you. Let's see if we can write a little bit more about that. Okay, it wants to start writing some numbers on there for us. So you can use the rewriter here. There's a whole bunch of things that you can do with it. Let's just go back here, focus mode, and anyway. So you see how easy it is to use Jasper. I use it a lot for not only the documents but the templates. I use the templates all the time. Now, here's the next to greatest time waster in the human capacity here. Human looking robots, large group of different colored robots, symmetric. This is how I made the artwork for the slide. That's the exact phrase that I use right there. So I let Jasper come up with some creatives. Okay. So I thought, and every time you hit create, it does a whole new set. Now they have different styles you can choose. Hey, this is great right here. Those look nice. Even these, a lot of color in there. I don't know what that is, but you can download them. You can do a screenshot of the entire thing and post it in Facebook or wherever you want to post it. And you can go into freeform. I wish they gave you a little bit more room to see this. You can turn, you don't need Grammarly here, but if I did this, I'm going to take out primary code, team cover, marketing, lifeline. Let's do Australian. And this is where I get lost. Australian Shepherd, flashlight, full body. Okay. And so I'll start doing dog pictures, or I'll start doing cat pictures, or whatever. But this is incredible artwork. In fact, I'm going to download that one. So really, really nice work. And if you just want just something weird, just to kind of see what it does. And again, you once you start using this, you go, oh, that's kind of neat doing, you could do artwork to go on your, not necessarily this, but doing it as a 4-screen to go on your house. Wayne and I have been doing some backgrounds, testing some backgrounds on Zoom. So we got some different things. This is a time waster. So
yeah.
Yeah, I can spend at least a couple hours on a Friday afternoon using the artwork there. Okay. They've got good training in here. Okay. They have a commands mode. I haven't really did that, but these are, these are good templates. The recipes, that's a whole nother training that we go into, but basically it's, that's what my presentation was about. I wanted to show you the 3 tools we used between Article Forge, Frase, and Jasper. Back here and answer any questions that we can answer.
Don's got one. Can Jasper be used to create short, compelling titles for native ads?
Yes. There's a template in here called Perfect Headlines. I use this a lot. Back to our bathroom remodeling on a budget. And let's use Gary Benzifinka. I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Tone of voice. Smart. Convincing. CTA. Avatar. Homeowners. Company. Let's call it Home Depot. Just as an example. And so you kind of see they give you all types in here. Transform your bathroom without breaking the bank. That's the first one caught my attention. 10 tips to remodeling your bathroom on a budget. So you can kind of see, there's a lot in here, and you just change your style over here. And let's say David Ogilvy is going to enter the room. David Ogilvy. You can get some really interesting stuff off David Ogilvy. In some of these, you might go, Oh, I've seen this before. Well, it's probably because he wrote it before.
before and after gallery, that's quite good.
Yeah. Yeah. See how they turned out. So, use that list that you did a screen copy to, if you're in Jasper, those are some great copywriters, and test them against each other. Do 3 to start with. If you really like David Ogilvy, just crank it up to, 7 or 8, and you get all those different versions. So anyway, any other questions? Oops.
No, I think we're done.
You see all types of templates in here. Google My Business, all, good content right in there. Marketing angles. I love this one right here. Photo post captions. This is kind of for your memes. Video titles, video script hook. Just, this is the granddaddy. This is the boss of the boss, and get the boss mode. And, of course, I got the unlimited plan, but if you stick with those 3 or pick one and use them all, or pick one like if you're going to pick one, I would pick Jasper. If you want to do auto blogging, got to get Article Forge. It's the cheapest one, but it's the best way to do auto blogging. Okay, cool. Any other questions? Bob Vila. Yes, that was.
Link for Frase for Peter's add-in.
Oh, I wanted to just, I don't have a affiliate link on Peter Hadley. I thought it'd be easier than that, or easy as that, but I guess I've got to go into Frase, and I'll tell you what, instead of keeping everybody on the call, is I will find that link again. Yeah, I think it was the AI semantic author. Okay. Well, I'll have to find it. Yeah, it's in there, but it's definitely worth getting, and I'll drop it in the replay in probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours when it gets rendered. Okay. Any other questions?
No, I think good session. Okay. Excellent.
Good. And guys, like I said, if you're comfortable with Copy AI or Writers In or want a Closers Copy, and you don't want to go up to the big boys here, don't. You become proficient. That's the best advice I could give you, is become proficient with what you use, so that you are getting full value out of it. Okay. If you're interested in more stuff like this, leave us some comments in the Facebook groups. Tell me that you want more like this in the Geek Out Fridays, or leave it on the reviews. So, because we're going to go back to marketing automation, and sometimes I run out of things to talk about on Geek Out Fridays, but this is stuff I geek out on. Is Wayne has to sit through some of these calls on a daily basis where I'm getting geeky about, we're doing Jasper writing, or we're doing, marketing copy. And I don't know if Wayne likes all the marketing copy I talk. I know I bore my wife to death when I start talking about marketing, but I get geeky about it. This is my realm here. Okay. So thank you for joining us on the call, and we will see you in 2 weeks. Bye for now. Oh, here we go. Michael Kuntz put it up, and we'll just put it to everyone. This is the authored intelligence. This is the Peter Hatherley. Very, very good deal. Get the entire bundle. It's 147. but it has the professional, the agency writer, and the semantic author. And you will love how it works with Frase. And you got to have the SEO add-on to make it work correctly. Okay. Guys, thank you. And we'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.
Bye.